Hi Gemini, how's it going? I hope you're doing awesome today. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn. I've already cleared the energy of the cards and shuffled. I'll just shuffle a little bit more. I'm going to do a 10-card Celtic cross spread. We'll just go through the cards one at a time. I'm also going to pull an oracle message, one oracle card from this deck. So let's go. If this reading gives you any guidance, if you could please like, share, subscribe, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Spirit, can I have one oracle card for Gemini? Please, one oracle card for Gemini. So Gemini, I'll read this at the very end, okay? You have release. So I'll just leave that. Maybe I'll put that right there, so you can see that there. Now let's do some tarot cards. So your first card represents your current situation, okay? The first card out is the Merlin, or the Hermit, and it came out reversed. So when a card comes out reversed, it just means that you're getting extra protection from Spirit, okay? So the Hermit is represented by Virgo in astrology, and it's a card about loneliness, isolation, feeling like you've lost your way, being antisocial or a recluse. It's a card of withdrawal, rejection. Maybe you feel paralyzed by fear in some way, being antisocial, being reclusive, feeling a bit paranoid. It's a card of being restrictive, feeling like you've lost your way. It could be warning you of withdrawing too much, or for too long, or maybe for the wrong reasons, okay? Maybe you're spending time alone, so you can avoid certain people. Or maybe you're putting off making some decisions, or you're procrastinating, but Spirit is saying that is not going to serve you well in this case, okay? So yeah, loneliness, isolation, feeling like you've lost your way, or it could be that you're keeping really busy, which can be a form of denial. Maybe you've been putting off giving yourself the solitude that you need to sort out your life and the issues that you're confronting. The Spirit saying it's time, or long past time, for you to self-reflect, revisit your goals, associations, your relationships, your career and life path. You might want to withdraw, to think things through. Okay, so Spirit is saying stop avoiding it, stop procrastinating. Then your second card represents what's crossing you, or what's challenging you or your situation, or it could be what you're celebrating. And you have the Druid, the Hierophant, and again, another major arcana card. And it came out reversed. Maybe I'll just turn this up a little bit more so you can see it. Okay, and you have this card here, release, your oracle message. Okay, so what's crossing you, or what's challenging you, or your situation, or what you're celebrating. And so this is Taurus energy. So you could be having an issue with a Taurus, or you could be celebrating a Taurus, or with a Taurus. But when the Hierophant comes out reversed, this card is about you're challenging the status quo. You're being rebellious. You're being a rebellion. It can represent unconventionality, unconventional lifestyles. Maybe you're challenging traditions. It's a card of freedom, unconventional relationships, non-conformity. Maybe you have a new approach to something or a new method to something. This card reversed could represent personal beliefs. It could represent ignorance. It could suggest stubborn bullheadedness, specifically in areas of your beliefs and how they apply to your day-to-day life. Maybe you feel like you're in a rut, unable to see new things or find useful ways to apply your beliefs in the real world. Spirit is saying maybe consider giving up some routines or trying something new. Maybe you want to overthrow an old tradition that you feel is suffocating you or that no longer serves your needs. Spirit wants you to know that you can choose to live by whatever philosophy resonates with your true nature. You may want to direct your actions your own way, even if it puts you in conflict with some tradition or one that you were raised to believe, or maybe your faith is being challenged in some way and you must reevaluate beliefs you've always taken for granted. Okay? And then your third card represents the basis of your situation or foundation. The basis of your situation or foundation. And you have here the Mother, the Empress, another major arcana. This is amazing. This is an important reading, Gemini. When you get a lot of major arcanas in a reading, it's an important reading, okay? So the Empress is represented by Venus in astrology. Your foundation message, when it comes out reversed, it's a card. It can be a card of feeling empty, a card of emptiness. It could be a card of dependence, smothering, dependence on others. It could also be a card of lack of self-reliance, a lack of confidence, feeling insecure, having overbearing tendencies, being overbearing. Maybe you're experiencing a creative block or a lack of growth, or it could also be a card of infertility. There could be, with the Empress reversed, a possibility of too much nurturing and a danger of smothering something or someone. Or maybe you're trying to rush something like a situation or a project or something. Spirit's saying just back off and let nature take its course, okay? If that resonates. This is a card of disharmony, a lack of progress. It could be, again, infertility, negligence, insecurity. This card is telling you to nurture. It's time to nurture yourself, okay? Maybe you've been spending a lot of time caring for others. Like maybe you've had a baby recently and you're feeling really tired and worn out. Spirit wants you to take time out for yourself instead of neglecting your own needs, okay? The Empress reversed, the Mother reversed, is a call for self-love, balance, and the awareness that you deserve the same care and attention that you give to your loved ones. Okay, and then your fourth card represents your past, but is relevant to your current situation. And you have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. I'm going to take a clarifier with that, please, Spirit. Okay, so now you have the Three of Wands reversed. So this has something to do with your past, but is relevant now. The Three of Wands is Aries energy. This is a card that talks about obliviousness. It's a card of loneliness again. When I say again, it just means that Spirit is repeating the messages, okay? So There could be a lack of foresight. You could be experiencing some kind of obstacle or unexpected delays. Um, it's a card of frustration, a lack of confidence again, doubting yourself. Don't doubt yourself, okay? A lack of progress again, a lack of adventure, a lack of growth again. Being haunted by the past, holding on to the past. There's a lack of foresight. Some of you are returning from your travels. Some of you are moving home. But yeah, feeling frustrated. There may be some kind of delay in the expected returns, or maybe responses that are not quite what you had hoped for, is the message with this card. Three of Wands reversed. Okay. But yeah, Spirit's feeling restricted, feeling limited. It's a card of restriction, playing small, limitations. Maybe you're doing most of the work on an internal level, clarifying your needs and planning your sense of direction. You've resolved most of the problems connected to this situation, and you've negotiated the tricky parts, so now you can expect things to go smoothly when you do go public with your ideas, is the Three of Wands reversed. And then the card that came out first is the Knight of Pentacles reversed. This can either be you, someone in your life, or he can represent a situation, male or female. It's Virgo energy. This card could represent someone who is obsessed with work, a workaholic, stubborn, someone who feels stuck, someone who's bored. This card is letting you know that self-discipline is needed, okay? Again, they're talking about being stubborn, so I would make a note of that, Gemini. Someone who's, maybe you're having to deal with this person. They're impatient, lazy. There's a lack of common sense. They're unreliable, irresponsible, disloyal. Knight of Pentacles reversed. There could be an unwelcome message about money soon, a loss of some kind, a disappointment, or again, Spirit is talking about some kind of frustration due to an unforeseen delay. So I would definitely make a note of that, because Spirit's repeating that message. Your existing plans may have to be changed or canceled. Delays could cause some failure. This knight could be a young man or woman who's unemployed, or who's uninterested in employment. There's a situation where waste, inertia, and problems with money exists, okay? This card could represent someone who is obsessed with money, materialism, or looks. They're pessimistic, dull. They feel like they're working without any rewards. They could represent someone who is a deadbeat, could be a perfectionist, is irresponsible, a gambler. But yeah, someone who is bored, feeling stuck. And then your immediate future card, what's likely to happen very soon in your life, is the Sun reversed. Okay, this is about pessimism again, so be careful you're not focusing on the negative, okay, because that's what you'll bring into your life. This is a card of negativity, depression, sadness, pessimism. So always like if that resonates with you, Gemini, try and catch yourself if you're thinking negatively, and make a conscious effort to change it. It's like working out, okay? Exercise your mind. This is a card of blocked happiness. It's also a card of the ego, feeling down, a lack of enthusiasm. Check in with your inner child. It can represent your inner child. It can represent conceitedness, having unrealistic expectations. It's letting you know that success awaits you right around the corner. This is your immediate future card. So success is right around the corner, or the sun reverse could represent being overly optimistic and excessive enthusiasm. So again, just take how it resonates and then leave the rest for someone else, okay? This could represent too much of a good thing, too many projects, too much energy, which can lead to burnout. Maybe you're overthinking things or overanalyzing, and that's just going to cause you a lot of problems if you do that. Something's blocking the usual happiness and success that the sun brings, okay? Um, it's never a negative card though, okay? It could be talking about delays again, or you might have to make some adjustments that you hadn't planned on. You might have to exert more effort to produce positive results. And the Spirit is saying, explore new and more effective ways to express who you are to the outside world. Okay? And then the outcome that you desire most in your situation. The outcome you desire most in your situation is the Tower. So the Tower is all about unexpected change. Another major arcana here. Wow. It came out upright. The Tower is all about unexpected change. It's about some kind of disruption, a sudden upheaval. Maybe you've had a revelation or you've had an awakening. This is a card of release, like this card. Okay? You're releasing something. It's a card of confusion, pain, disruption. Could be a divorce. It's a card of loss, tragedy. It could be a bankruptcy. It's an unexpected change, a major change in your life or your belief system, which they're talking about again. Major change in your belief system. Spirit, we've already mentioned that. So I would make a note of that for sure. There may be some kind of emotional upheaval or a distressing event happening in your life. It will eliminate all that is no longer useful or good for you, this unexpected change, okay? Whatever solid and good will remain, and you'll have a foundation that has survived trial by fire, and you can rebuild with confidence once the dust has settled. When the Tower comes out, it's a big change, a massive change in your life, but it's for the better. It might not feel like it at the time, but it is for the better. So just know that. This is when the universe steps in and makes some changes. Whatever disruption or adversity this card is forecasting is, again, like I said, for the best. It represents overthrowing false beliefs and habits that don't serve you, which we already talked about. So in this sense, it's not a negative card, but a positive one. There may have been some kind of loss, either personal or financial, but this catastrophic event could have been foreseen if you had been aware and willing to face the facts. What is destroyed in conjunction with this card has served its purpose and needs to go. Okay? You're gonna, yeah. You're gonna, it's not a bad thing, okay? Just remember that. And then your next card is your self-image card, how you see yourself. And you have the Seven of Wands, and it came out upright. So the Seven of Wands is represented by Leo. This card is about open conflict. It's about being defensive, protective, determined, um, defending yourself, protecting your territory, being assertive, standing up for yourself, negotiating. It's telling you to take the high road, maintain control. It's a card of mount defense, fighting in your corner, standing up for your beliefs, having a strong will, holding your own. This is how you see yourself. This is your self-image card, okay? You're at a position of advantage. This card is all about courage and determination. You're willing to fight for what you believe in and will stand your ground. Maybe in the past you fell into complacency, but now you're ready to face challenges. Profit and gain will come, but only after you have firmly held off your competition or enemies. Maybe you're outnumbered, but your determination will win the day. You're discovering inner resources you didn't even realize you had, and you're using them to overcome obstacles. You have the advantage and will eventually achieve success by sheer force of will and motivation. Okay, you have the stamina, the valor, protection, responsibility. You have the upper hand. It's a card of competition. That's your self-image card. And then your environment card, or how others see you in your situation. Is you have the Two of Swords reversed. So again, extra protection from Spirit. So the Two of Swords reversed is Libra energy. And this card says you can't decide. You're confused again. There's talking about some confusion. There's an imbalance in an area of your life. Something's not balanced. Something's not equal. It could be in a relationship, at your job, in your home, and in your thoughts. Something is out of balance. Okay? You're hesitant. You have anxiety. You're trying to see the truth. Lies are being exposed. Again, they're talking about delays here. Maybe you're holding on to anxiety or resentment. Maybe you're being emotionally guarded, protective, like they just said, emotionally cold, emotionally detached. This card represents overwhelming fears, worry, stress, anxiety, being overly cautious. It's a card of having to choose between the lesser of two evils. No right choice, too much information, but the truth will be revealed, okay? Is the message from Spirit. The truth will be revealed. Maybe you feel helpless to make the necessary changes because one party is unwilling to admit to the truth of the situation, making discourse impossible. And this may result in deceit, disloyalty, or duplicity. This card indicates a broken truce or an imbalance in a situation, or it could indicate that a choice is made for you rather than by you. Okay? And then your hopes and fears, what you hope for and fear the most in your situation, is the Hanged Man reversed. Another major arcana. Wow. Okay, this is a big reading, like I already said. The Hanged Man is represented by Neptune in astrology. This card is about delays again, delays, indecision again, stagnation, feeling stuck, stalling. There's you're avoiding some kind of sacrifice, needless sacrifice. There's a fear of sacrifice. It's a card of discontentment, stagnation, disinterest, being at a standstill. It's a card of resistance. It's a card of repeating a negative pattern. Okay, it represents the Hanged Man can represent a negative pattern. You're being asked to make a sacrifice that is too big and potentially harmful to you. You feel confused, like your world has been turned upside down. That's what a tower moment can make you feel like. Maybe it's making you feel immobile and unable to take any action. You're at a crossroads, but also at a standstill because you're stuck on the material plane and you're neglecting your spiritual development. You're denying your real needs. That's why the mother came out reversed, the empress reversed. You're denying your real needs, and it could be causing you depression, dissatisfaction, or apathy. You feel like any effort you make will be futile, but this is because you're not being true to your inner self. You're sacrificing yourself because of a martyr complex or indecision. Spirits wants you to end this behavior and commit yourself to a worthwhile goal that will lead you to your higher good, even if it means turning your world upside down. Okay, and then your future, if all is to remain as is the Strength card. This is Leo energy, another major arcana. This is big. This is a big reading. Wow. Okay, so the Strength card, again represented by Leo, is all about doubting yourself. It's a card of weakness. Weakness has come up a few times. Weakness, insecurity again, low confidence again, vulnerable, feeling inadequate, again, a lack of confidence, cowardice, forcefulness, weakness, vulnerability. So this card is warning you of two things. First, beware of letting your animal passions and instincts control you. Beware of repressing or denying them altogether. Either one will cause major problems in your life, okay? Spirit wants you to know that you do have a lot of inner strength. Don't doubt yourself, okay? Do not doubt yourself. You have a lot of inner strength. Just tap into that core of determination that you have within you, okay? You're struggling to maintain your sense of self as you figure out what to do in a difficult and potentially harmful situation. Your inner instinctive nature is calling you to pay attention to your own needs. Again, Spirit is saying you got to pay attention to your own needs instead of doing what others tell you. It's a time of hardship, but you will eventually overcome the difficulties and come out on top. Maybe other people think that you're behaving foolishly and not following the standards set by society, but your basic instincts of survival say this is a time for expressing your individuality, which Spirit already mentioned, okay? Spirit wants you to express yourself. And then your last message is release. This will tie it all together, okay? You got the Oracle message release. This card is saying that when you receive this card, it's time to let go and surrender. Let go of situations, let go of people, let go of objects that do not serve you, like the Tower card. Let go of old, outmoded, self-limiting beliefs that drag you down, which they've already talked about in the reading. This is a time of stripping away superficial distractions. They talked about distractions until you reach who you are at your core. If you're holding on to the old, it is difficult for anything new to come into your life. Start by clearing your home and your living environment of clutter. If you don't love it or use it, it's probably clutter. Spring cleaning, it's time to spring clean. Clear it out of your space. It's time for a detox. It's time to get ready for the new, but you must release the old first. Okay, Gemini, so that's your reading. If this reading gave you any guidance, insight, confirmation, if you could please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. Take good care. I'll see you next time. Bye.